like if I reached my hand over and touched one, she'd wince. I sat down in a beanbag chair and threw my backpack on the floor. My plaid skirt felt itchier than usual. Why didn't I think to change my clothes? "Hey, Anna Banana," Mariah said, and she dipped her Oreo into her lemonade. Anna Banana. It's what my dad used to call me when I was a little kid, and no matter how hard I try, I can't get him to break the habit. But for some reason, coming from Mariah, I kind of liked the way it sounded. "What are you doing here?" she asked. I looked over at Emma, but she just sat there, twirling her finger in her hair and staring at her lines. "I'm always over here," I said. The beanbag chair was disappearing beneath me. I readjusted the stuffing. "I practically live over here." "That's cool. Want to be our audience?" "Sure," I said. She smiled at me. "Feel free to applaud wildly when we're done." They stood up, and I stayed in the beanbag. Emma was pretty good, but she seemed a little uncomfortable and stiff. And Mariah was amazing and beautiful. I could see why a guy like Romeo might kill himself over her. After that, we just sat around and talked, and I got to hear firsthand about DJ and his car and his favorite leather jacket that he gave her, and even about the Hickeys. She said he had some really cool friends, and we should all hang out sometime. And I probably should have just said no thanks, but I didn't. Because she's Mariah, and I'm just plain old ordinary Anna with nothing at all to show for it.
Emma. I wish we'd never left the city. My parents always talked about how much better it would be for everyone if we could have a real house with a real yard in a real neighborhood where we could ride our bikes up and down the tree-lined streets. Well, New York City is real too, real in a different way. And I don't know why everyone seems to think life in the country is so much better and safer. It's not. I know that for a fact. New York City gets a bad reputation up here. Take Central Park. People always talk about it like it's some scary place where you should never go alone. But for me growing up, that's where I fed my first duck and where I hit a triple in t-ball. Or take the place down the block from our apartment where Silas and I would get ice cream cones. The guy who worked there used to give us free sprinkles. Does that sound dangerous to you? Does that sound scary? Sometimes Silas calls me Emilus Pain in the Assicus. That's my species name. It's a joke we have because there's this zoo in London where they have people in cages, and he threatened to send in my name for one of the few coveted spots. Thousands of people applied. Thousands. This boggles my mind. Why would you want all those strange eyes watching your every move? The only explanation I can come up with is that none of these people live in a small town like I do. Because if any of them did, they'd already know what it feels like to live in a cage. It's not like I hate it here. In fact, I used to like it here just fine. But now there's a part of me that wishes I were back in the city, taking a subway or a bus to school instead of walking. I wish there were so many people in my grade that I couldn't know everyone's name even if I wanted to. If I went to school in New York and something happened to me, not everyone would know about it because New York has so much else going on. Who would ever care about what happened to me or about what I did? It doesn't seem fair to blame Mariah, but any way you look at it, that's where this all started. Mariah and Anna and I started hanging out because of that stupid English class assignment where I had to be Romeo. I didn't want to be Romeo. I've tried hard to shake my tomboy image, including wearing eyeliner and shaving my legs, even though my mom says I'm too young to do those things. She says I shouldn't buy into the male-dominated ideal of feminine beauty, which to me is just professor speak for it's hard for her to watch me grow up. Anyway, I didn't think playing Romeo would do much for me in the image department, but at least I got paired with Mariah. It could have been worse. Then again,